I'm wondering if I scared everybody away by announcing I'll be here. You never know. Okay, at least somebody's here. I wonder who. Oh, John's back. Great. By the way, I just put up, I'm doing some research on housing in Missouri. And so at Lesko, Free Money News, Facebook Free Money News, if you go there, you'll see a whole bunch of neat stuff that I put in there. And really, when you look at that Free Money News site, it's stuff I find somewhere. It may not be for your area or whatever. Like the things I found now, I put up there, there's one you get $500 to paint your house. Make sure your house doesn't look yucky. So they give you a $500 grant to buy paint, to paint up your house. So that's it's somewhere in Missouri that I tell you about that because that's where I'm working on. But see that what I'm trying to do there is show you, hey, there's these kinds of things out there. So maybe the link I give you is for Missouri, and you don't live anywhere near Missouri, so that doesn't mean bananas to you. But that's still important for you to know something like that is out there, so you could follow up on it. And that's the important thing. And I did a bunch of videos this week or whatever. They got a lot of reaction. One about how to take advantage of the Amazon, what's going on. Amazon's going to create 50,000 jobs wherever they go. And you'll see on Free Money News, I don't know, I think I put that one up already. It's sometimes a little low. I usually do it first on the videos on YouTube to make sure it's there. And then I put it up on Free Money News and maybe on Facebook and things like that. It's hard. I really want to do more research. So the marketing takes back seat because if I don't have anything interesting that I think is important, then I'm not really interested in marketing it. And that's what happened for years now. I really felt I didn't have anything of significance to market, and that's why I was doing more sort of trying to, I was doing things like this to get feedback from people because I feel I get an answer to anything. I just don't know the questions you guys have, and that's the important thing. How do I know what your question is? Steve, thanks again. Jerry from Jerry Clemens, right? And John Sargent, show me the money. I got some here, maybe somewhere here. Oh, I left it in my other pants, John. I'm sorry. I'm in Washington, D.C., and the sun's starting to set, and I'm in an echoey apartment because we have a new apartment downtown. We live in the suburbs, but we're moving downtown. We get rid of the house in the suburbs and move down to small little, live in a beehive kind of stuff. And we're knocking out a wall tomorrow, so we're probably about 2 months of renovation to take this little apartment. Never apologize. Oh, thank you, Jeff. And that's fun. But it is, it's really trying to survive. In other words, like when I put, in the title of this, how do we find, I think the one first responsibility, I'm an old guy. So, when I think now, probably, someone 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years younger probably doesn't think that. But it seems that, the essence of life is taking care of yourself, first of all, okay? So you take care of yourself, so you need money and whatever it is to take care of yourself and grow and to keep growing in life. And then it's really using our skills in our work or whatever we have, or even software, to help others. And it seems that that's the most rewarding thing. And I think that's the limits of capitalism. Capitalism forgets about all this stuff about helping others. It does. Well, it makes you forget. It really doesn't, I think, but people try to do it so well, so they only concentrate on one aspect of it, and that's how much money I can make for me. And the more you do that, the less you worry about the other person. And really, I think great commerce is the one that has the customers' interest first. and not your own. So how are you going to help others? So with your profession, with your skills, whatever you have to contribute to society, how are you going to help others? And I think that is, the key to life is helping others professionally. And that's how you take care of yourself too, because then you're needed in society because you're really doing something. And in a capitalist system, we get money for that. That's pretty cool. Because otherwise, if you're doing it just for yourself, it's like, masturbating or something instead of making love. And that's no fun. It's more fun to make love. And so that's why, with our professional lives, we should be making love to customers, not trying to screw them. Oh, there's a joke in here somewhere. Isn't there? And that's but we get tied up, it seems, in competing, or I don't know what it is. I mean, we all struggle in life, so it's hard to say what's really right or wrong. I mean, I'm struggling in life every day. I don't know what the hell to do for sure, and I'm sure everybody else is. So we all try our best. But I think it boils down to a lot is helping others. I mean, because that really is satisfaction. And that's what we lose when we collect money or all that kind of stuff, because that's all we're going to keep score. We don't feel about what we feel inside. We suppress that, as opposed to feeling good inside and contributing in life. And I think that's in our human nature to want to do that, but it's not encouraged a lot in capitalism. But capitalism is cool, because otherwise we'll all be doing things just to please ourselves. This is what I think should be done. And that's like, to me, I could do a book on anything, but I want my research and the skills I have to help other people. So I got to know what those problems are, so I can package it and get it to them, and maybe give me some money so I can continue doing it and things like that. And I think that's the fun part of life. And the fun part of capitalism is that if you do it better and better, then you get more money that you need, or you can live a little more comfortable life. But then after a while, how much is comfortable? I mean, I don't know, people anymore. These executives make $10 million a year. Golly, what the hell are you going to do with all that? To me, it seems that the only thing you're doing is showing off, right? So you're trying to because it's a game. America loves games or everything. We all in sports, we want to beat the other team and everything. So that's how in capitalism, the score is money. All right? Everybody wants to beat everybody else's money. When actually, I think it's just sustainable. You want to take care of yourself and your family, right? So that's what you need, right? Or you want to retire. And then that's another thing. I can't understand, why do people want to retire? That means you have a shitty job or you don't think it's important. Don't you want to feel important in life? Yeah. That you should be, I think we all have to be somewhere where we have to be thinking about, okay, what do we think is important to contribute to life that we have to give to the rest of society, so everybody else can live a little better if I work at this harder. If you were a scientist and you're going to cure cancer, right? I don't want you to take a long summer vacation. I want you to cure that sucker. You're going to make the lives of other people better. So even if we're not that talented to do that, the other things we are talented for, that can improve other people's lives. Even if it's shining shoes, man, you love shining shoes, you can do it better than anybody else. I mean, and that's what you pour your heart out into every day to make it feel worthwhile. And you give the best shoes shines in the world, trying to raise money to help the local schools and veterans. Okay, Peter, I mean, that is, there's like 10 places to do. First of all, if you want to help schools, you want to help veterans, somebody else, so you want to be a nonprofit. I mean, it's hard, don't take, anybody who gives you an answer, it's a maybe. Any advice you get and everything, the real truth to anything is maybe. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. Maybe it's good for you, maybe it isn't. But if nothing's happening in your life and you don't have options, that's what you have to do, is look for options to try. And that may or may not work for you, but you learn by trying something else. It's all like learning to walk and doing that all over again, no matter who you are, what you're doing. So that's what you have to do. So here's what I would do. First of all, I wouldn't concentrate on becoming a nonprofit. Okay, I mean, that seems to me putting the cart before the horse. You have no idea where you're going to get money from. So why become a nonprofit first? What you want to do is figure out where the money is or how you're going to get the money, because that's the key. A lot of things, it doesn't matter if you're a nonprofit or not. Some it does, yeah. And also remember, you have to collect information not for the answer that you have in your head. So your question is maybe now, okay, where do I get money for to help schools and veterans? Well, people will say, well, you have to become a nonprofit. So you go become a nonprofit. Look out where the money is. Look at, okay, if you're going to do nonprofit stuff, look at who gives money for this. Okay, there's two places. And you look at those sources of funding and decide, hey, is that for you or not? Because there's two major sources. Because if it isn't, then you do other ways. I mean, you have to be now starting getting creative and think of another way to get money. Now, the two main sources for nonprofit money are government grants and also grants from other nonprofit organizations. There's about 100,000 organizations that give out money to other nonprofits. These are fat cats. You've heard that, this foundation, that foundation. They're big fat cats. Now, all that information is available at the library. The library doesn't have the government grants so much, but they do have the private sector grants. And there's two databases that they are in. One is called GuideStar, and actually you could look at that right on your computer now. You won't see the whole database, but you'll be able to play around to see what's in there. And you can see enough, tell you the truth, that you could see, okay, what organizations in your state, nonprofits, give money to other people who are trying to solve problems for the veterans, okay? So you want to look at that. Now that's where you probably, and I would say, I mean, you can look national, you can look at it, but I would start in your state first, because people usually are trying to solve problems locally. If I have a bunch of money and I want to help vets, and I live in Maryland, well, I'll probably be looking for people in Maryland that are doing that, because that's home and I can understand it and stuff like that a little better. So that's where I would start, okay? The second place is your county. See, every state, every county, has money for that kind of stuff too. Now, how do you find it? It's probably a dozen places, but the place you want to start is your community development block grant. That's the money that's usually given out to help communities with any kind of social problems. Veterans need housing and things like that. So that's a main thing. Now, the other thing is there's already money programs for veterans that are going to do that. Maybe you can, in other words, like, we need to house people, okay? So if you're a vet and everything and don't have a place to live, okay, there's money for that. Okay, where are they going to get? Now, I've interviewed people who've done this too, and actually they called up and want to look for more money. Like, you could buy a house, rent a house even just rent a house, and go to the government agency that gets housing for veterans, and you run the house. In other words, what they do, they give X number of dollars to veterans to be able to live somewhere. So you can get that money and figure out how to run a household with 6, 7 veterans in it. You provide the services, and whatever it is, you have to find out what is the requirements for getting that money for veterans. And that's just a research project, for you to figure that out. And so now you don't even, it depends, every state is different, but it's not definite that you have to be a nonprofit. No, you don't have to be a nonprofit, you just have to have the house. And the services that they expect you have. So you figure that out. And then they pay you per person, that they send you. So you're in business now of helping veterans, and you're making money out of it too. A lot of people make money like this, and this is why people are making a lot of money out of them. The same way with Donald Trump. He started his $1 million business in real estate, really getting government money that gives you money to house people who can't afford rent, okay? So they give him money. So he figured out that system. and made his first $1 million deal on that. So this is how people go. And that's why, to me, if you ignore, the government, most rich people use the hell out of this government. This is where all the action is. They have the most money and they give it away. You just have to learn the system. It's not going to be like an hour of research and you'll have the whole thing done and you'll be a millionaire by next Tuesday. No, you're not going to be anything by next Tuesday, no matter what the hell you do. Unless you put on a mask and get a gun and go to the local 7-Eleven. Other than that, it's going to take work. So, and there's no single roadmap to get there. So that's why going to courses, going all this thing. It's certainly good getting the data and information from other people, but you don't have to pay to do that. And that's the silly part. People like going to Donald Trump's real estate course was $30,000. This is why he had to give back $25 million because just ripping people off. $30,000 for a course in real estate. And it's all public information. You just have to bang on doors and figure out where it is. So you can take advantage of it and show other people. So you got two things there that shows you how to get the money from the nonprofits that give money to people to solve problems in the community. And then there's money from the government that gives money to people to solve problems in the community. And it's the Community Development Block Grant that is the main source of a lot of those programs. That's just a starting place. Anything I give you again is just a start. It may or may not be work. You can follow up on one of these things and then call me back, Lesko, you're full of shit. It didn't help me at all. That may happen. So that's why it depends on how you treat those people. Because if you have the wrong place, they say, hey, but you know what? Over there's a program that really suits you better than our program. See, that's what you try to get. That's why any place you contact or whatever, you try to get from them, where else can I go to get that kind of information? And that's the kind of stuff, that you want to know. And that's what's so important about doing research. If you run into a dead end, it doesn't matter, because you use that knowledge to ask them about other sources that you didn't even think about asking about. This is why we're the question mark soup. It's really, we don't know the questions to ask. You put in Google, you put grants for nonprofits in Google. You got 50 million websites. And 44% of those websites are people that will want to sell you something, because you're looking for help. So then, the hucksters and the rest of us in society will say, oh, you want this? Okay, and then I'll be able to sell you something. So that's why Google, to me, is a place to spend money, not get money. Because everyone in there is trying to get your money. So if they're trying to get your money, that means you're spending the money. You're not getting the money. Because Google's not good at that. But it can be if you know the exact place you're looking for. You know the name of that office. Like if you put in Community Development Block Grant, Montgomery County, Maryland, you will find that. You can't put in grants for veterans in Maryland. You're never going to find it. Because first of all, it's probably not even a grant. So 80% of the money that the government gives out, the free money, is not even called grants. So that's interesting, that people don't realize. So, but again, I think what's important that there's nothing that, any roadblock that you have in getting money, and there's always another way. Sort of like in getting a grant for this. Well, try crowdfunding, and I have even scenarios of how people are able to do that, but because crowdfunding requires a list, then you work with somebody else that has a list. Because you could put a thing next to crowdfunding, it costs nothing. And that's, I think, the key to all this stuff, is that you always find things that don't cost anything. If you don't know what the hell to do, you start paying for things when you know exactly what you're doing and you're pretty sure of the results. But if you don't know exactly what you're doing and you're not pretty sure of the results, you should not pay for anything, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to waste your money. And you don't want to do that, because you're going to run out of money before you get your problem solved. And that's the story of that. Well, I don't know if people have any more questions. This is a bad time of day, or I think actually what happened, I'm only on Facebook now, and there's few people. Facebook doesn't promote anymore or something. They're making too much money on advertising, so they don't have to keep you, the people who aren't paying for advertising, happy, because they're getting too much money from the people who are paying for advertising. And that's why Zuckerberg or whatever, now got a big promotion because he's promoting the business of the world about how great his data is to sell things to, because he could tell, okay, who picks their nose with their left hand in Milwaukee, and he could find you those people because he got all that data. So if you have a nose picking machine or something for people, it's stupid, you know what I mean? It's that. So any other questions before I log out here? Free money, free.lesko.com/top50. That's my new product out, doing very well. It's only $15, and I'll give you the 50 top places to get money and help from the government to do anything. So that's free.lesko.com, free.lesko.com/top50, all small letters. Top is all small letters. It doesn't matter before the .com, but after the .com, size matters. Okay, so free.lesko.com/top50. Are there any plans for retirees? Any plans for retirees? Okay, now I don't know what that really means. There's lots of opportunities, I think, more now than ever forever for retirees. And I think, number one, we're retiring. We're living longer is what's happening. I don't believe in retirement, because I think we should contribute as forever. This is what we're here for, is to give to each other. And so now the trick is, how do you do that and get paid? Is there any plans for retirees? I want to live in the Philippines when I retire. Well, that's great, but what are you going to do in the Philippines? You're going to sit and do nothing? That's a lot of people do that. So it's not for me to say if that's good or bad. I used to be in the Philippines during the Vietnam era, and I think it's developed a lot more since then. But it's cool people. I know a lot of cool Filipinos here in the country, and work with a lot of people in the Philippines now. So I'm sure there's things you could do there, particularly as America, because you know the market here. So I would start looking, okay, how are you going to create income? Because if you start learning how to create income in retirement, that will keep you engaged. Keeping you engaged keeps you young, and feeling engaged keeps you motivated and like to do something. If you have nothing important to do, you're just going to bitch the rest of your life. You go down in Florida, all these people who don't work, and all they do is bitch about their organ recitals, I call them, because they're all complaining about this health problem, that health problem, or about the economy, or they just, because they got nothing bigger to work on. And that's why to me, retirement, you got to find something bigger than you to work on. So if you're giving, you don't have to worry about yourself and how the world is beating you up, because the world is going to beat you up no matter what the hell you do. So if that's all you're looking for is how the world is beating you up, you're going to find lots of reasons. There's lots of that going on. It's all over. It's just a matter of whether you're looking for it or not. And so if you're occupied with something bigger, and usually bigger means something outside yourself, it's helping somebody else or do something or whatever. Then you just let the world beat you up. That's fine. That's just part of life. That's it all. You got a shitty seat in the airline. What are you going to do? Complain about the seat? No, you put up with it. You get off the plane and go. So life is out there to beat you up, not by design, but just by accident. You have no control. Why do some of us get cancer and some of us don't? Woo. Life's beating those people up. That's right. It's a lottery. So who cares? But if you worry about it and do, then you're wasting energy and thinking in things that don't make you feel good, because all you're thinking about, everybody's after me, everybody else is, bad, and I'm the only good person in the world. That may not be true, but who cares? You got the reality out there, that's all. So to me is, what can you really do? And I think the main thing we really do is show by example. So if you're contributing in life, then you show other people. Oh, you don't have to be greedy. You don't have to do anything. And also, the other thing, if you're worrying about yourself and what you're doing, oh, I want more. Because all the stuff that we think is pleasurable and everything, they're insatiable. It's like ice cream or cocaine or any of these things. You have a little bit, you just want more. So that goes nowhere. Yeah. And so what are you going to do with a bigger car? You can't even get in the road down the street now in $1,000 car, let alone $100,000 car. So what's the difference? If transportation is to get A and B, why do you need $100,000 to get to B if you can do it for $1,000? So there must be something else going on in buying cars than transportation. So, but we get caught up in that thing because it's somebody else here. I have a relative that lost their health insurance. Where can I refer her to? Okay, Jerry. Yeah, that's very important. There's a bunch of places. I put that in the one stop, Lesko.com, one stop. That's 350 places, in your state. I cover everything from healthcare to getting a job, whatever. But here's what I have in there for, here's where to check. Number one place to check is your county health department. Your county health department. You check there before you go anywhere. Every county has it. We're all pretty organized the same way in every state. It's just called different things, in every state, in every location, everything. You start with your county health department. And so it depends on what kind of it. The other thing is there another central source. And again, these are just the beginnings. You can't, like the health section I have in the one stop probably is 20, 30 pages, stuff like that. But I want to give you places that will start so that you can add to, that will lead you to somewhere else. And then you go to needymeds.org, needy, needymeds.org, needymeds.org. And you could put in dental, you could put in healthcare, you could put in, rehab, stuff like that. And they show you sliding scale clinics, clinics that are free and things like that. But also interwoven there are other things. Now, don't go and Google free clinics. If you do that, what will happen, you may or may not find Needy Meds, but most likely you won't, because you'll be there's an avalanche of information you'll get from people who are trying to get your name to sell you something because they know you have a health problem. So they either want to sell you insurance or sell you something or other. And so they'll put up a website with 3 so-called free or sliding scale clinics on it, and they're really after your name. So don't go there. You want to go to anything that only has .gov, G-O-V, or .org, O-R-G. Okay, so that's what you want to do. And that's where so they're the 2 places, your county health department. Okay, if not, both of those don't do anything for you. And then you start down the ladder, you go to something called 211.org, and start looking in there and asking about health problems. They have, every 211.org has local, nonprofit organizations. See, this is where nonprofits come in. They get government money and money from other nonprofits to solve problems. People need healthcare. That's a big thing. We pay twice as much for healthcare. It's just sick. I don't know if you see, I did a video just a couple last week, and it's on YouTube, and I don't know if I got it up on Facebook yet. But it shows you how to save 40% of your healthcare. Something that's going on in Europe, and it's really nurses running the show. And they're able to cut this. People are healthier, and they cut the expenses by 40%. Yeah. If we get smart enough and beat down on the healthcare industry, we may be able to do something like that someday too. But until then, you got to live. Okay. The other thing too is look for university hospitals. Like dental. I went to a university to get my teeth cleaned. I got a fraction of what it would cost me in my private dentist. I was just starting to get pissed on me. It was a couple $100 all of a sudden to get my teeth cleaned. Yeah, it's crazy. I wanted to start doing X-rays and all this stuff, and went to that. university, and it was Howard University here in Washington, D.C. And it took me longer, whatever, but great treatment. Yeah, nicer people because they're not on the clock. They're not, all the professional health professions could only spend 6.5 minutes with you or else somebody yells at them. And these young people are just terrific. They take all day or whatever. It's just a delight. So it's a more human experience, than we get in these so-called professional. That's what I think professional is stupid. Professional is being. This is why we hate doing anything, because everyone's acting professional, not real. And if you can't act as somebody real, you don't feel, it's just transactional. You need your tire changed. I don't give a shit as long as the tire's changed, And so the person doing the work doesn't relate to you. I don't give a shit as long as it gives me money, What a way to live, isn't it? I got a tire change and you get money, fuck the rest, And where that could be a pleasant experience too, because you have an expert doing something and you have an issue, and but if he or she's only after your money and you feel that vibe that they don't care about you personally at all, then it's not a nice place to be. You want to be where you want it, and they don't let these people be, nice to people so you could feel being wanted because they're on the clock and they have to do it this way. And that's how the nurses are saving 40% of healthcare by treating people as human beings. Oh my goodness, you're human. What are you doing here? Giving me money. I thought you're just a wallet with legs. Oh, that's it. Anything else we got? In the Jerry, is that good enough to start, Jerry? Yeah, that's why we have dozens of problems in life. Everybody has problems, and there's potential answers. I can't guarantee any of these, but they're legitimate and they're potential, and you have to try them. The only thing you know for sure, if you do nothing, nothing's going to happen. You don't know what will work, but you know that not doing anything is dumb because nothing will happen at all. They're not going to come to you, hey, do you need any health care today? Hey, come on, I got to give out some health care today. I'm looking for somebody. That doesn't happen, right? So it's up to you to go find them. They don't, and you go to Google, and Google is only going to show you the people who paid money to find you. So that means you've got to give them money because they paid money. And Google wants the money. So if they don't get money from you, they're not going to advertise on Google. So then you won't find the people that are free. So that's the problem we're in our society now. And that's what I'm trying to do is educate people that you can't rely on Google unless you know exactly what you want. Because otherwise, if you go there looking for help and services that you don't have to pay for, there's no incentive for anybody there to want to find you because they're not going to make money. Screw you. They're going to do something else. So you have to find them. And there's too many problems in life. Too many people are getting screwed that they don't have enough things just to get by. The average salary went nowhere in the last 30 years or something. Or the rich people are just making gazillions more. We just did that with the tax system. So, more importantly is start taking care of yourself. Listen to the new things that are happening out there. Like I just did a video on if you have a smartphone, you have a job. That's where all the jobs are. You just have a smartphone, and they're not traditional jobs. You don't work for 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day. No, they're just jobs. Hey, I need $50. Go on your smartphone. You do something for a couple hours, come home, and never see the people again. And it's all done on the phone. And it's all done on the cloud. This is what the cloud is so great about. Because the cloud has all the people are going to the cloud and say, hey, I may need a person in about an hour. Anybody who wants to do this? And you raise your hand. Okay, come on over to do this. I'll give you $50. It's all done, see? But if you're going the old school, trying to go in the newspapers for an ad, right? Friends, no, it's this new stuff that's happening. Anybody else got a question? Nothing. Okay, so my new work is free.lesko.com, free.lesko, lesko.com/top, T-O-P, small letters, 50. That's a 50 test programs. And each of those 50 programs have a video to explain the programs. It's the top 50 programs in the government that I have. And it's only $15. It's a $20 product, but I have it on sale now at Lesko. Maybe I'll put it in the, you see in the title. In the title of this, it's there. free.lesko.com/top50. Send the link. Yeah, Steve, it's up in the title of the talk today. Oh, Naima's there. Did she do that? Oh no, that's part of the. I see what it is. Yeah. Okay. Now I see. Yeah. So up in the title, you could see it. But I'll be back soon, and keep looking at Free Money News on Facebook. Facebook.freemoneynews. I'm adding things. I'm going to add some more videos tonight, I hope. So keep an eye there to find about new stuff that you have to pay for. And I'll be back probably in the next couple of days doing your questions and answers, covering something else then, okay? Cheers.